Well, again, hearty welcome. Since we have visited here, I think there were some developments of importance. I would refer to some of them. The declaration of our Prime Minister about two states.
Yes.
Some people may think it's a step forward, but from Israeli point of view, it's a leap forward. I paraphrase it. It's really a major change in the Israeli politics, and I think we have to look at it that way. The second thing, I believe, the situation in the West Bank has improved economically in an impressive way. And I think on that issue, Israel made serious concession. Out of the 41 checkpoints, 25 were annulated, and it will go on. And I do believe that we have to continue to work. I believe the Palestinian Party won't be available before August the 4th for their convention of the Fatah group, Fatah Party. And until then, I wouldn't ask for their reaction at all. I think they are in elections and they have their own sensitivities, and they wouldn't take their word as the final one. I found that the Egyptian position is basically encouraging. So is the Jordanians. I think the Saudis were good on their declaration. They have to be good as well on taking some steps so to make the declaration meaningful in the eyes of the skeptical people. Now they have to do something against skepticism. Because as far as otherwise, their declaration played a role, and we refer to it positively. We share your view that we have to try and reach an overall peace in the region, but without any linkage, because if you should link, and linkage means to give a veto to one of the parties. That shouldn't happen. I read your declaration in Syria, and I believe if the Syrians will do what other parties did, to come openly and negotiate, even secretly, but face to face, we can move ahead. Prior conditions will be an obstacle, I believe, to the opening of the negotiations. And also we have, I praised the last time the work of General Dayton. I think our army shares this compliment, our people, our government. I asked the general what is his estimate when maybe the Palestinians have already the necessary force to govern their own land when it will come to an agreement. I think that maybe such a force can be completed in 2011, maybe toward the end of it. It's important because we have to deal a great deal with dates and so on. So, Senator, I receive you. Some people will say as an optimistic person, I would tell as a realistic person. The difference between optimistic and realistic is people who are impatient are becoming pessimistic. You need a little bit of patience. It's not a simple proposition. I know the dates. I know that the President has his own agenda, including vis-à-vis Iran, and the Secretary of State has referred to it. There are many dates. But looking back, when you came here for the first time, you weren't sure, and you weren't sure that in a relatively short while, those changes will occur. It is in this spirit that I welcome you and your delegation. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. President. First, it's of course a pleasure to see you again, and it's a pleasure for me to be back in Israel. As always, I'm deeply grateful for your advice, your counsel, and your guidance. I've listened to you over many, many years. I recall the first time that you addressed a caucus of U.S. senators when I was the Senate Majority Leader, and I introduced you then And I remember, as though it were yesterday, so many senators coming up to me afterwards privately and describing how pleased and impressed they were by your presentation. Thank you. And by your views. You and I have been friends for many years, and our governments are friends and allies. My talks with you and with other Israeli officials are discussions among friends. I repeat what I said yesterday when I met with the Minister of Defense. These are not disputes among adversaries. They're discussions among friends who are trying to move forward to reach a common objective. And our discussions involve many issues, all of which are intended to help promote what we share in common, a desire for comprehensive peace in the Middle East. And to help achieve that, President Obama has asked all involved to support our effort. For the Arab states, that means meaningful steps toward normalization of relations with Israel. For Palestinians, that means to expand and improve their security forces, to which you have just referred, to take action against incitement, and to refrain from any words or deeds that may make it more difficult to move quickly to successful negotiation. For Israel, that means making possible improved access and movement and economic growth by Palestinians, to which you also have just referred, and also dealing with difficult issues like settlements and outposts. As you very well noted, there has been movement, and I think it should be recognized. Israel has taken meaningful action in the West Bank, which we hope will be sustained and expanded, and which will then significantly improve access and movement, as well as the potential for economic growth. The Palestinians have made significant strides in reforming and professionalizing their security forces to ensure that Palestinians can live in safety and that a state of Palestine will be a responsible neighbor to Israel and to other states in the region. There have in the last several days and weeks been calls from some in the Arab world, from Egypt, from which I've just returned, and President Mubarak asked me to extend his personal feelings towards you, from the United Arab Emirates, from Bahrain, and from others, in an effort to overcome a focus on the past and to call for steps by Arab states to do what they can to fulfill the promise of the Arab Peace Initiative. I thank Prime Minister Netanyahu and you and other leaders in this region who acted and spoken in behalf of our efforts. The American commitment to Israel's security is firm, it's unshakable, it will not change. The United States believes that this security can be achieved and protected through a comprehensive peace in the region, and is to that which we direct our efforts. So, Mr. President, thank you very much again for hosting us and for talking with us, and I look forward to talking with you further.
Thank you very much.